Get your money, don't care who judge. Stay out the way, surround yourself with nothing but love. Stay out the way, if you a gangster, killer or thug. Stay out the way, put your faith in the man above. Stay out the way, chill with your family, siblings and blood. Stay out the way, kick it with your girl, forget hit in the club. Stay out the way, mind on your money, ain't no switching it up. Stay out the way, stand out the way, what you thought that it was. Stay out the way. If you stuck down on your luck, not feeling righteous, did a petty crime, just looking for some excitement. Now your name on affidavits and court indictments, get paid for a lot, but your freedom is priceless. You did the crime, you do the time, don't let it surprise you. Real stories from the heart, just to open your eyes up.
Yo, what's good, y'all? What's the word? What's going on? How everybody doing out there? Y'all already know what it is, man. We are back again, and it's time for the weekend banger. It's time for the weekend banger, y'all. That's a lock. It's time for the weekend banger, and I got one. I keep a banger at all times. But like I always say before I start my videos off, I have no problem delivering this content to everybody that's out there working hard, working a 9 to 5. Everybody that's out there with their own business, getting to that bag the legit way. I make sure y'all got something to listen to in the morning times, man. And I promise y'all, there's no problem on my end. I also have no problem making sure I'm warning y'all and telling y'all about how dangerous prison is. I only ask for one thing from y'all, and that's for y'all to just stay out the way, man. That's all I want you to do. And we're gonna stay out the way because it's just a smart thing to do these days, man. Like everybody that's out there breaking the law and running around being crazy, like y'all trying to tell me, man, like y'all ain't tired of just like running from the police, knowing that your life is either in the graveyard or in the prison. Like y'all not tired of living a life like that, man. You have to be, man, in 2025, because back in the day, a lot of people really had to do these things, man, to be outside, man, to get some money or whatever the case. 2025 is too many ways out here for us to get to this money, y'all. It's too many ways for us to get to this money, man. You better get with it, man, because the legit way is the new way. If you out here still breaking the law and wilding out, they got a place for you, man. So that's why we staying out the way, because we're not trying to go to that place. That place don't make sense for us. It's not in our future. Like, just sit back and think about it, man. Like, yo, I'm out here living, and the only thing that's going to either happen to me is I'm going to be 10 feet under or I'm going to be in the penitentiary, man. Like, if those are your only two options of life, because if you think you out here making money, hustling, or doing whatever you're doing, it's not going to last, bro. Sisters, whoever, it's not going to last, man. You are going to jail, man. Like, and for these scamming jobs, like you going to the feds. The feds is the worst place to do time at. I don't care if you're a woman or a male. So if you're ready to do that, then be my guest. Keep breaking the law, man, because the people are coming, man. The people are coming. This isn't GTA. You are going to jail for real, man. So just stay out the way from me, y'all. It's the smart thing to do, period. But y'all already know what it is, man. This is the weekend banger game. So what I need y'all to do with this one. Like, share, and subscribe this one, y'all. Let's get Let's go. What? It's time for business. It's time for business, y'all. And the story I got for y'all today is called I'm Not Like That No More. Part 1. Crazy situation, crazy story, as I always tell y'all, man. But y'all must understand, in penitentiary, you have these people that think that their past is just going to disappear. Whatever you was doing in your past, it didn't matter if you was shake, rattling, and rolling, or you was somebody that used to be a member of something, you got out of it, whatever it was, or you told, whatever it is, man, your past always catches up to you in penitentiary, because that's just how prison is, man. Prison is a small place where nobody has nothing else to do except research, be nosy, find stuff out, get this information, all the above, man. So you're never able to hide things, even when you think you are. Even when you think you're smarter than a lot of people, you're still not able to get past these people with information, man. So with that being said, though, we are on Lawrenceville for this one, y'all. We are on Lawrenceville. And I can remember being in the 60 building game, man. So I'm over there the second time, man. Kind of adapting to where I'm at now. I done got booted off the 30 building where I used to be at. They got rid of me over there. I'm at a point now where they telling me I can't even come back over there. So now I'm just stuck over there in the old San Francisco game. It's not like how it used to be when I first went over there. It's a little different, but I had to get adapted to being on the south side of the yard, man. Like, I'm not a south side guy, I'm a north side guy. So like, I had to get used to all of that all over again, man. But at the end of the day, this is where I'm at. I'm in 60 building, man. So the only people that I really was rocking with at this particular time right here in 60 building, man, was two people, man. And one of them was from the beach and one of them was from Norfolk. Now, the one from the beach that I was rocking with, man, we're going to call him Bobby. Now, Bobby was the kind of like quiet guy. He was short, brown-skinned dude. He ain't really look like he had a lot of squabble in him. You know what I mean? Like, he'll put some work in, but, you know, he had getting money aspirations. You know what I mean? He still used to like trying to get the package, trying to do whatever he got to do to win. Now, my old homeboy, we're going to call him Benny. Benny was from Norfolk, you know what I mean? Now, I'm rocking with Benny over there. Benny was slightly older than me, but he was a dude that I seen. He done time. He was official. He wasn't no member or nothing. He done did a little time in the feds. He done been around, you know what I mean? He probably was like 38 or something like that, but he was one of those dudes that didn't look old. He worked out. He still had his stuff together. But that's who I used to really kick it with in there, man, majority of the time. Now, Bobby was the type of dude. Bobby ain't really get into nothing, man. Bobby, well, you know, even with him still trying to get some money, he still wasn't on it like that because he knew he was getting short. Bobby didn't have a lot of time left. But Bobby's cousin was in our block as well. Now, Bobby's cousin was a little younger than Bobby because Bobby was like my age, you know what I mean? But his cousin was a little younger. His cousin was a little bit more, you know what I mean? Like I didn't really deal with his cousin, to be honest with y'all, man. I didn't deal with him a lot, man. It's for a lot of reasons. I didn't have a lot of friends, for one. And for two, like, even if you was related to somebody I was dealing with, man, I wasn't obligated to still hang with you. And everybody knew that's how I carried. So Bobby and Benny never really, like, pushed that type of energy on, like, why you ain't messing with my cousin like that? I just really didn't, man. So we gonna call him Beach, man. We just gonna call him Beach because I didn't really kick it with him like that as much. But he's in the block, so they used to go over there in his cell, and sometimes we would use his cell to go mess with the Lala. So we'll go over there, mess with the Lala, be in his cousin's cell, you know what I mean? So his cousin was a dude kind of like he would just look like he was somebody that was just trying to do his time and get out of prison. But when you in prison, it's just all type of obstacles that you might have to go through. So it's never really that easy, even when you staying out the way. Now, on the other hand, his cousin Bobby is the opposite. Bobby trying to get to the bag, even though he's quiet with it. Bobby's trying to win. That was his whole mission. Even if Bobby had to spend money, Bobby would still try to have the pack in the pod. So we used to be straight in there. You know what I mean? Like I seen that everybody was on their own type of time. You know what I mean? Like Bobby trying to win. My homeboy Benny, he was cool. He really just liked to work out, different things like that. He wasn't on it like that. You know what I mean? So like everybody was just cooling at this particular moment. So I can remember, man, Bobby came back and told us that he was getting transferred, y'all. I ain't even gonna lie, man. I kind of was rocking with Bobby, though, man. I was upset about it, kind of like, man, I just got cool, bro. You know, he was from the beach, you know what I mean? But still, though, he was still cool. So, you know, he come back and tell us he getting transferred, man. We help him get his stuff together. Me and my homeboy, Benny, we walked him to property, you know what I mean? So we got to property. He went in there. We waited for him. He came back out. We went back to the building. The whole time, he was just telling us, like, man, that joke crazy, but when you getting short and it's time for you to transfer, you got to adapt to whatever your situation is going to be. It's time for you to roll. So he wasn't mad, you know what I mean, that he was leaving Lawrenceville, but still, though, like, he was more mad that he's leaving his cousin. So before he left, you know what I mean, he was like, yo, man, look, man, Weezy, man, I need you to do me a favor. I'm like, what's up? He was like, nah, see, you crazy. Then he looked at Benny. I was like, what's up? Then he was like, Benny was like, what's up? He was like, look, man, one of y'all make sure my cousin be straight, man. I mean, make sure he good, you know. He kind of like, you know, he know what's going on, but he just, you know what I mean? He just kind of green a little bit, you know what I mean? He was like, man, he keep messing with Ren and Stimpy. It was these other two dudes from the beach that was in the other block, and they used to always 229 over in his cell too, you know what I mean? I guess they was his age bracket, and he knew these dudes, but he was like, he always messing with them. He was like, bro, just kind of make sure he's straight for me, man. That's all I ask, man. You know what I mean? He was like, cuz for real, he got 5 years left. He ain't got a lot of time either. So I'm like, yo, bro, listen, I ain't gonna make no promises. I said, because I don't really talk to your cousin, bro. I was like, for real, bro, he on Lawrenceville, bro. Ain't nobody bothering him on Lawrenceville, bro. He was like, yeah, you right, though, man. Benny was like, yeah, bro, ain't nobody holding your cousin down. He was like, how old your little cousin? He was like 21. He was like, exactly, bro. You're a grown man, bro. Like, he was like, man, your cousin all right, bro. He was like, yeah, you right, man. But just, you know what I mean? I know y'all rock with me. I was like, bro, you good. So we partied that night, you know what I mean? Went up with the Lala. We ate food, made a meal. You know what I mean? We chilled. Next morning, man, Bobby was out of there, y'all. So boom, Bobby get transferred. Now Bobby's gone. You know what I mean? So his cousin remained in the pod. I never really dealt with his cousin. Like I told you, I wasn't on it like that. I wasn't trying to kick it with his cousin or nothing. But since his cousin was gone, I seen him trying to make it his business to always kick it with Benny now that I'm, you know, Benny is my guy. You know, I'm talking to Benny every day. So now when I see Benny, Benny's always talking to this dude. So I ain't come around. And I guess Benny caught the vibe. Benny pulled up on me like, yo, Weezy, what's up? You out? I'm like, yeah. I'm like, bro, always around. What's up? What he got going on? He was like, oh, nah, he just, you know what I mean? Like, he a little worried. He was like, because his roommate about to move to 80 building tomorrow. And, you know what I mean? He don't know who he gonna get in the cell with. He was trying to see if I get in the cell with him. He was like, but, you know, he ain't coming off the bottom bunk. And, like, for real, I'm good where I'm at. You know what I mean? Because I'm on the bottom bunk. You know what I mean? He was like, I told him, like, yo, Weezy definitely ain't moving. I was like, definitely not moving. You know what I mean? So he was like, that's what he was talking about. So he was like, man, I can't move in the joint. So I'm like, man, his celly moving. His celly was a cool dude too, but he work in the kitchen. He be back and forth, doing a bunch of different things. So yeah, I guess he's trying to get the 80 building. 80 building was the building where, you know what I mean, you want to be at. So his roommate gonna slide. So I saw that's what the conversation was. I didn't pay that no mind. The next day his roommate leave. So when his roommate leave, you could tell something was going on. You seen Bobby Cousin, the dude Beach. You seen him always talking to the dudes that was from next door, the two other dudes from the beach that he used to holler at. He talking to them, you know what I mean? He at the door, he talking to them because he dolo in the cell. So you seen them 229, they come over in the pod, you know what I mean? They all in the joint, they kicking it, they go up off the la-la. They look like they straight, they young dudes, you know what I mean? They leave from that. I'm thinking he trying to put a play together to get one of them moved in the cell. You know what I mean? He did. A little bit of time going on through the day, the afternoon come, next thing you know, you hear the police noise, you slide open up, you see the car coming in, next thing you know, you just see this kind of tall, light-skinned dude. He probably like 6 feet, but kind of light-skinned dude, got the little curly fro, like he was mixed. He come walking in, he was like, yeah, his shirt tucked in, scrubs were tucked in. He stopped and looked around, he was like, what cell I supposed to go in? Told the CO, CO was like, you go in cell 8 right over there. He was like, push the card over there. So we all kind of like standing over here. I look over, I'm like, oh, he going in Bobby Cousin cell. So I look up, I see Bobby Cousin come out, the dude Beach, he come out the cell. He step out, dude, push his joint to the cart, push his cart over to the cell. He taking the stuff out the cart. You can see him and the dude Beach having a conversation. He talking. Nothing crazy, you know what I mean? I looked at dude, I didn't know him, man. Like for real, I don't forget no faces, you know what I mean? Especially light-skinned dude, like he just looked like somebody that wasn't familiar to me. So I saw that he wasn't nobody that I knew. I saw he wasn't from Norfolk. I really didn't, I know he wasn't from the beach because it would have been a different vibe with him and the dude Beach. So I knew he wasn't from Virginia Beach. And I knew he wasn't a member because the members didn't come holler at him immediately. So I saw that he wasn't those things. So I'm thinking that maybe the Beach, I'm thinking maybe Bobby Cousin Beach, maybe he'd be all right in the cell with this dude because he's not a member. He's not nobody that's wild. He didn't look wild. He looked like he was probably like in his late 20s, about my age, probably like around my age, to be honest with you, man. He just was taller and a little bigger, but he looked like he was around my age and he didn't look like he was into nothing. So I'm taking this as this could be a good situation for Bobby Cousin, y'all. You feel me? So boom, after he get his stuff together, he come out, he moving around. I look up, he on the payphone, you know what I mean? He watching the pod while he on the payphone, though. He on the payphone, he using the joint, he talking. But he just looking around at everybody in the pod. He put his back to the wall. He looking at everybody in the pod. You know what I mean? He get off the phone. But after he get off the phone, we lock down. After count, bro hop back on the jack. So when he get off the jack, call me to the cell. Like, what's up? He called me to the cell. He was like, hey, look, gotta holler at you. I'm like, what's up? He was like, look, man, my roommate, he could be getting some la-la this weekend, right? I just told him, you know what I mean? He told me to holler at some people. You know what I mean? Only people I really know that be spending the money on the la-la is you, Weezy, you know what I mean? You and Benny. So like, I'm hollering at y'all just to see what's going on. I was like, for real, bro? I was like I would have been on it, pause, but like, I already had a play happening, you know what I mean? My man at 70 building was gonna strike over the weekend, Saturday actually. And he already gave me a good price on what I was getting. So I couldn't renege on my homeboy. Like we already talked about it. He was already expecting me to spend the 200. I know he was. So like, I already had a situation that I already had going on. You know what I mean? So when he told me that, like Benny with me, Benny going, like if I got the la-la, Benny got the la-la. So he's straight, unless he's just being greedy. You know what I mean? So when he tell me, I'm like, yo, bro, listen, that sounded like a good deal. I was like, but I'm good though, bro. I was like, your roommate bring the pack though? That's what he doing? He was like, yeah. I was like, where you from? He was like, he from around here, bro. He from around here somewhere. I was like, for real? He was like, I think he from Waverly. But he was like, for real though, like his brother will bring him the pack. You know what I mean? I was like, his brother bring him the pack. He was like, yeah. I done seen a dude brother bring him the package when I was on Sussex too. A dude from Portsmouth, his brother used to bring him the pack. So I have seen this before. So I'm like, his brother bring him the pack? He like, yeah. I'm like, man, that's crazy, man. So I'm like, bro, I'm gonna be straight though. I was like, so you good? I was like, bro, see? I said, your cousin was worried about you getting a bad roommate. I said, look, you already struck with a dude that like to get the package. Pause. He was like, I know, man. He was like, man, he like to mess with the la-la too. So like, kind of like, you know, like it was a good match. Like they put a good dude in the room. Da-da-da-da-da-da. Benny walked up as we was talking. Benny was like, yo, what's good? He was like, no, I'm just telling Weezy that my roommate gonna get some la-la this weekend. Benny was like, for real? I was like, yeah, but we straight though, bro, because I'm about to, you know what I mean? What I was telling you about. He was like, he was like, but y'all about to get some too? Dude, Beach was like, yeah, my roommate just told me to holler at a couple of people. He gonna have a la-la. So we turned it down. When he left, I told Benny, I was like, yo, bro, we about to be stressed. And if you want to do you, then he was like, nah, I'm just mess with your job. I'm like, yeah, bro, I'm just gonna go through my man, you know what I mean? So the weekend came. So when the weekend came, I looked up. I seen bro coming back from VI, you know what I mean? He was over there a while. He left like a 4 count. He come back, you know what I mean? A little bit of time, he come back from VI. So we come back, we go straight in the cell. I see the dude Beach, Bobby Cousin, he come out. Goddamn, his roommate threw the cut up. So he in there for a while. My homeboy already sent me a kite, told me the outside wreck. I'm straight. So I'm like, yes. I tell Benny, like, yeah, we straight, bro. Like, make sure, yeah. Like, bro, listen, we goody, so you ain't gotta worry about nothing. Like, all right. I was like, we just gotta go outside. You going outside with me? He like, yeah. So bro was in the joint the whole time. He was in that joint the whole time. They call outside wreck. They call exit for outside wreck. Exit for outside wreck. All the doors, everybody moving around, everybody coming down the steps, everybody going outside. So as everybody going outside, I look, by cell 8, I seen Bobby. Bobby was still posted up by the door like he was holding his roommate down. His roommate still on cut up game. So I just, I shoot outside. You know what I mean? I'm outside. Holler at my man the whole time he was out there. My man hit me. I give him the numbers. I'm straight. I got almost a zip in my pocket, so I'm chilling. So I'm at the fence talking to him the whole time. Benny over there hollering at his homeboy. We kicking it, you know what I mean? Right over with. We walk back down the sidewalk, about to go back in the building. As soon as I walked in the building, I'm talking about in the building, y'all, you hear me? As soon as I walk in the building, we hit the threshold of the building. I smelled something. I was like, what? Walked in the jump. Walked in that part, hit the left, because I'm in this, I'll go to the left when I come in the door. Hit the left. Look. Everybody's in that jump. Like, did I smell the jump? Benny walked in behind me. Benny was like, yo, what's that smell, bro? I was like, I don't know, bro. I said, what you think that is, bro? He was like, I don't know, bro. I said, it smelled like some burnt underwear or something, bro. Like, I don't know. Like, it smelled like like Lala, slightly, with like a dirty clothes hamper smell. Y'all remember that smell? Like, when somebody had a dirty clothes hamper and they got clothes in there, dirty drawers, all that, been in there over 2 weeks. So it's just sitting there and it's the smell. But I'm trying to think of a funny way to say what the smell is, but I really can't, because this was my first time experiencing this smell that I was smelling. So everybody, like, you know what I mean? The dudes is in the pod acting like it ain't nothing. You got dudes cooking and all that. We coming back in from outside. We smell it. Everybody that's come back in, like, what's that smell? So I ain't paying no mind, running around. When I look over at the big light-skinned dude is looking like, you know, he the new dude, so he quiet, he kind of watching the motion, but the motion is coming from him. He just kind of remaining quiet, you know what I mean? So, man, that joint wild. So I ain't paying no attention. So everybody doing them. I got work too, but my work, like, I'm doing more street work. I'm not like, I got commissary, if that happens, I'm still gonna be straight, but I'm just trying to go up with the la-la, make me a couple dollars. That's what I'm doing. So they running around slinging and banging. So it's time to go to dinner after we came back from rec, you know what I mean? So we on standby for dinner. Man, we chilling, man. Everybody on the tail, I'm standing on the tail, I'm lit. You know what I mean? Me and my roommate that messed with the la-la, you know what I mean? Benny came through, you know what I mean? So we lit, I'm standing on the tail by my joint, and I'm just looking around, I'm just watching, I'm like, and I just see dudes, like, you know what I mean? Like the light-skinned dude, kind of like, he's so quiet with it because he, you know what I mean? He more like, I don't know, like, this is first time on Lawrenceville. He was letting Bobby Cousin, the dude, beach handle everything. I seen the dude, he was like, hey. The new dude, he was like, I'm on the top 10, he going like this. So I look, I'm like, Bobby Cousin came and was like, hey, Weezy. I was like, what's up? He was like, dude was like, yo, come here, me and holler at you. I'm like, it's the first time I really hear his voice. He's like, yo, me and holler at you. I'm like, I look at myself, like, you going on? I was like, yeah, bro, let me see what's going on. Like, I went down the steps with, like, I'm not really pressed down the steps, actually. I went down the steps like, what's up? He was like, I just wanted to holler at you, like, you know what I mean? Beach told me you already got some la-la, but I wanted you to try my la-la though, bro. He was like, because you do more la-la than anybody in the pod, so I'm just trying to get your opinion on it. I was like, I mean, bro, I got la-la, bro, you know what I mean? I was like, I ain't stepping on y'all toes, though. I was like, I ain't even really selling for commissary and none of that, you know what I mean? So, do you, bro, you know what I mean? He was like, yeah. I was like, bro, listen, bro, like, for real though, man, like, I ain't, you know what I mean? He was like, yeah, I understand it. He was like, look, we never really fully met though, bro. He was like, Mark. I was like, Mark? He was like, yeah, Mark. When I dapped him up, like for real, the dap felt so fugazi slightly, like, you know, like dap me up like a man, you know what I mean? Like, I don't want no old halfway or some old hand, I don't know, like, it just felt crazy on the handshake. I remember that, like, that was a wild dap up that we did, you know what I mean? So He was like, bro, we ain't really met yet. Mark, bro, he dapped me up. I was like, why? He was like, yeah, my roommate ain't never introduced us. I was like, yeah, I know why. I'm saying in my head, I know why your roommate introduced us, because he already know I didn't really want to meet you anyway. You know what I mean? Like, this is what I'm saying. So he like, yeah, like, but for real though, bro, like, you know, I'm trying to navigate my way through this joint and you know what I mean? I'm like, oh, bro, I get it, bro. I was like, but look, though, real talk, but I appreciate you, but I got my own la-la right now, bro. I don't be like just getting la-la just to be doing la-la. You know what I mean? I don't know why I was fighting this guy with this. Like, I don't know why, but like, I just be serious about what I'm passionate about. I was passionate about messing with my own la-la. So he like, well, look, just let me give you something there, and then when you get a chance, just let me know. Just let me know what it, like, give me a chance, get a chance. Just kind of let me know what it is then, you know what I mean? Like, I was like, man, all right, man, you know what I mean? That's cool, man. So he gave me the joint. I walked away. I went back upstairs to my cell. I went in the cell. I looked. I opened the paper up, and he gave me like a big. That joint was like 3 feces in one. I was like, seeing the joint like that shit huge. You know what I mean? I smelled it. I was like, it smelled like some stinky lala. So I closed the paper back up. I was like, still though, man. I mean, put it back up. Put it right there. Exit for child. Benny downstairs like, hey, Weezy, come on, bro. I'm like, all right. Come down the steps. I catch up with him. We walk in the child. As we get in the child hall, we see my homeboy in there in the 70 building and shit, the same nigga that sold us the joint. So we get in the joint. He like, hey, bro. He was like, man, who the hell is that in y'all pod, man? Got that stinking ass weed, bro. We was like, what you talking about? He was like, man, it's somebody in y'all pod, bro. You know what I mean? I don't know who it is, bro. There's some dudes that they say they got it from 62. And those the dudes in 62 pod is the dudes that's cool with the dude Bobby Cousin, the dude Beach. They be in and out our pod. So he was like, there's some dudes in 62 pod that sold something to some dudes over there. He was like, I ain't come out and start selling feces. He said, I just came out to serve you. Then I was going to crank up what was going on. He said, but it's already smoking up. He says, already la-la in the pod. So he was like, who is these dudes? He was like, because everybody in my pod saying that weed stink. I was like, what do you mean it stink? He was like, bro, it just stink, bro. It got like a musty smell to it. You know what I mean? I was like, man, for real? I was like, bro, I know the dude who got it. You know what I mean? I was like, he gave me something to try. I was like, bro, for real though, bro, I don't want to try it though, bro. Like, for some reason, bro. I was like, when we came back in from hollering at you earlier, I said, bro, the whole pod was smelling musty and crazy. I was like, bro, I don't know what's going on with that junk. He was like, how he getting it? I was like, man, he going to the, I guess the dude going to the VI. He was like, well, how he bringing it back? I was like, bro, those are the answers. I don't know. When he said that though, that's when it clicked. I was like, what the heck? I was like, hold on. I was like, man, we find out this dude putting in his tutor, y'all, so boom. Pause. But still though, like, I wasn't thinking, we on Lawrenceville. Like, you have to worry about that with Sussex. You know what I mean? Like, it don't be a lot of situations where this happened. I've seen it happen, but it don't be a lot of situations where you got to question how this pack coming in. You know what I mean? A lot of people don't care about how it comes in. I do. And there was a lot of people up there like me too that was feeling the same way because there was too many other ways to get it and besides using a tutor. You know what I mean? Like, this isn't an old prison when I was locked up around this time, man. This is past, this is like 2010, 11, 12. Dudes really getting it back then. You didn't have to go to the tutor. So like, I wasn't even thinking about that. Pause. You know what I mean? So when he said that, that's everything clicked. I was like, hold on. Word? I'm like, yo, that's wild. I'm like, that's crazy. I was like, man, for real, that dude jumped, man. I said, hey, Benny. Benny came over there. I was like, hey. I said, bro. I said, man, bro said, dude might be goddamn keister in the jank, bro. He was like, for real, man. He's like, man, I wouldn't put it past him. You know, Beach don't care. Beach just trying to mess with the lala. He said, you know, he ain't asking no questions. I said, man, that's why that junk stinky. I said, bro, then dude gonna give me a big feezy to, you know what I mean? He was like, that junk crazy. I was like, that is crazy. I was like, that is crazy, man. So I was like, I'm gonna see what's going on. So when we go back in the pod, I see Bobby. I was like, man, I'll let you, bro. He was like, what's up? I said, yo, how your roommate bringing that stuff back? He was like, what? I was like, how you bringing it back, bro? He was like, why? I'm like, bro, listen, ain't nothing like that, bro. I was like, but he just gave me something, bro. I said, damn, niggas is saying that shit stink. Everybody is saying, he was like, it's supposed to stink. I was like, bro, nah, niggas is saying that shit is musty, bro. Like, that shit smell like goddamn keister game. I said, your roommate putting in a tutor? He was like, what? I said, is he putting in a tutor? He was like, man, I don't know. Nah, he was like, he cheeky. He cheeky, bro. I was like, man, he must have got some musty cheeks, man. Like that joint ain't right. I was like, but look, though. I said, man, this the joint he gave me, man. I said, look, tell your celly I'm straight, bro. He was like, I was like, bro, tell him I'm straight, bro. Like, niggas ain't talking right about that shit, bro. I said, look, y'all go ahead and do you. He said, Weezy, look, bro, ain't nothing wrong with that la-la. I'm messing with the la-la. He was like, ain't nothing wrong with it, bro. I said, man, I dig what you saying, And I understand that, but like at the same time though, bro, like, like I'm good, bro. Like, I don't know. When you find out how, I said, ask him how you getting it. You know what I mean? He said, man, he ain't gonna tell me that, so all right, we're here. I gave him the jump back, and also, boom, gave him the Denzel. I slid. I ain't got no more rock, man. Take that damn fees and get out my face. I got out of the way. I dipped. You know what I mean? Because there's a lot going on. So I'm starting to see what's going on in the pod. The pod ain't really complaining. The dudes that's running around, that's from the beach, that the dude that Bobby Cousin rocking with, they're not complaining. Like, the only people that was complaining was the 70 building niggas. So I started viewing who was acting crazy in the pod, or was a problem in the pod, or was niggas was feeling some type of way. So I see an old head in the joint that be messing with the Lala. He was the barber. I pull up on him. I say, hey, you had some of that Lala that Beach and them got? He was like, oh yeah, that joint tastes nasty. I don't like that joint. I don't like that joint. That joint. Everybody Lala ain't good, Weezy. I don't like it. I said, yeah, I've been hearing that, man. I said, look though, here though. He was like, what's this? I'm like, it's a feezy. He was like, what you want me to? I said, that's for you. He was like, for what? I said, man, look, it's for you, man. Keep the joint, man. That's what I got. He was like, oh, you got this. I was like, he said, you ain't got what Bobby and them got. I said, open the paper up. Over here, it was like, you got this. I was like, yeah, I got it. He was like, look, man, this junk been bothering me all day, Weezy, man. He was like, come in the barber shop. Because we was talking like outside the door, like door was open, but I'm talking to him like he in the hallway, but he at the barber shop. So I'm like, what? He was like, man, come in here, man. I ain't got no customers. I was like, what? He was like, man, come in. Like, I step out. He was like, act like you getting a cut. So I sat down in the chair. He was like, man, look. He's like, you ain't gonna believe this, man. He said, look, look, I don't know if you know. He said, I used to shake Rowland Road. You know what I mean? He said, I used to shake Rowland Road back in the day. He said, I ain't shake Rowland Road over 10 years. You know what I mean? He said, I'm back on violation. So I went home and was right, but I used to shake Rowland Road. I'm saying in my head, like, this dude, he started his whole sentence off, I used to shake Rowland Road. Like, I didn't know where this was going. Because the start of conversation off, I used to shake Rowland Road is crazy, y'all, so boo. I'm listening, though. I'm like, he like, yeah, but look. He said, that dude that's in our pod, the light-skinned dude. I was like, yeah. He was like, Marcus. I was like, yeah. He was like, man, I heard some shit about him. I was like, what you hear? He was like, them boys over there in 70 building, they said they know him. They said they know him. I was like, they know him? I was like, from where? They was like, they know him. They know his ass. They said they was at receiving together. They said they was at Powhatan receiving. So I'm like, the hell happened at receiving? He was like, shit, at receiving? Shit, they say he was goddamn receiving the treatment. I said, man, get out of here, man. Come on, bro, man. Like, he was like, I ain't joking. You want to talk to him? I said, no, I don't want to talk to nobody. I said, I'm going to take your word. I said, what you're telling me is, dude used to shake Rowland Road? He said, nah, he used to get shake Rowland Road on. I was like, man, hold on, man, nah. I was like, he told him, he got a big dude. Like, he was like, man, like, I'm telling you, man. I'm telling you, like, for real, you know what I mean? So I was like, yo, that's crazy. I'm like, you sure, bro? I said, cause he in a cell, with bro cousin and shit. You know what I mean? He was like, man, I'm telling you, man, that man got down. I ain't gonna tell you no lie. He was like, but since you gave me the fees and shit, I don't want to tell some goddamn body. I don't give a fuck who you tell, by the way. He was like, I'm gonna holler at you. I got about the child. I was like, oh, hell, maniac, y'all. So boom. Immediately, I go in the pod. Benny. The secret ain't last 5 seconds. Hey, Benny. Benny comes like, hey, man, say word. Oh, yeah, just told me that the nigga Sally got the Lala used to shake Rowland Road. He was like, ooh, the dude, nice to do. I was like, yeah. I was like, nah, he's saying that nigga was the woman. You know what I mean? He was like, man, get the hell out of here. That nigga don't even. I said, bro, that's what old head said. He was like, I said, the barber, nigga. You know what I mean? He was like, for real? I was like, word. I said, barber don't even be putting bones out on niggas like that. You know what I mean? Benny was like, man. He was like, I went and hit the Lala with them niggas Weezy. I was like, what? He was like, yeah. He said, man, after dinner, bro, I went and hit the Feezy with them niggas, bro. I was like, trying to be greedy, bro. I said, bro, I gave you some Lala. He was like, bro, I still though. I said, bro, that shit stink, bro. You still did it? He was like, bro, it was free Lala. I was like, man, your ass, wow, man. I was like, man. He was like, man, fuck this shit. Benny, like, he was mad. Benny was like, what? Man, I know this nigga ain't shit while I'm rolling. And this nigga got down. He like, man, you laughing, Weezy. But fuck that shit. I was like, bro, listen, bro. I said, man, listen, if that's his life, bro. I said, I was just telling you because you my nigga and this shit crazy. I said, you know, he in the cell with bro cousin. He was like, that's what I'm saying. Nah, bro, like, nah, you don't be asking to do that and you do that. I looked up, Benny was walking towards their joint. I'm like, damn, I looked over at Benny. Benny was like, I'm behind him. Dude was like, yo. Benny going to jump. I walked to the door. When I look, dude on the bed, I see the dude, Bobby cousin, sitting on that little bench right there. And I'm like, so I showed him I was with him. I looked right in their cell. I was like, but I ain't go in though. I'm like, I ain't going in that joint. So I'm right there. But I'm looking in the window. Benny walked in that joint. Benny was like, yo, man. Hey, look, man. Keep it 100 with me, man. I ain't trying to hit none of that, man. Because if you did, bro, you violated, bro. He was like, what? What you talking about? Benny was like, look, man. Benny was like, yo, bro, is you gay? Dude was like, light-skinned dude got up. He was like, who told you that? I was like, man, don't worry about that, man. Is you gay or not? He was like, he turned around. He was like, man, that's back in the day, man. I'm not like that anymore.
Get your money, don't care who judge. Stay out the way, surround yourself with nothing but love. Stay out the way if you a gangster, killer or thug. Stay out the way, put your faith in the man above. Stay out the way, chill with your family, siblings and blood. Stay out the way, kick it with your girl, forget hit in the club. Stay out the way, mind on your money, ain't no switching it up. Stay out the way, stand out the way, what you thought that it was. Stay out the way. If you stuck down on your luck, not feeling righteous, did a petty crime, just looking for some excitement. Now your name on affidavits and court indictments, get paid for a lot, but your freedom is priceless. You did the crime, you do the time, don't let it surprise you. Real stories from the heart just to open your eyes up.